Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of our discussions. So after my last vlog on predictions for 2021, I received a huge responses from various kinds of people from various age groups with so many doubts regarding handling scenarios of our lives, like the simple scenarios of our lives. And one very common and universal question that I noticed among the questions that I received is like about karma. How much can you trust karma? And how do you handle situations where you are so hurt and when you're totally betrayed? How do you handle that kind of situations? We also noticed that year 2020 was a year of so many trials and tribulations. Also saw on the other side people going into depressions, a huge number of people going into depression, suicides. The suicides among the younger generations have increased. So all these factors came into the table for discussions like why, how can we handle this? I cannot give a solution as to how we can handle all, but I'm just trying to share here some information that I think has helped me and what I was taught. This is not something I inherently adhered or I achieved or something like that. This is something which was taught to me when I was a child and what I learned from moral education classes in my school and in my colleges. And I think it is important, like very famous philosopher from recent philosopher from India, who says that you learn, you practice, you promote what you learn, and then document it. So the documentation and the promotion part is what I'm doing here with my vlogs right now. So let us begin. I want to discuss here that is regarding education. What is education? Like nowadays we hear a lot of discussions happening with regard to education. We always learn that whatever we learn in schools or colleges is never implemented in our life. What we are life's experiences are completely different from what we learn at schools or colleges. And there are so many successful business people, corporate people, so many people who are successful irrespective of being school dropouts. We hear a lot of discussions. So what is education? Just going to school, studying physics, chemistry, biology, arts, commerce, getting a degree, getting a PhD, go work. That is the kind of definition we had been hearing. But basically, education is the capacity to face your life, right? Education should formally teach you how do you respond to various situations in life. So that is the crux of any education. It's not about getting degrees, it's not about making you ready for a job or making you to, or preparing you to be a millionaire. It's basically about giving you capacity to respond to your life. So all these people who have dropped out of schools, maybe they got the right education within that span. Like if the person is 5th standard educated or 10th standard educated or college educated and is pretty well handling their lives, that means they already learned how to respond to the life scenarios. So that should be the crux of education. Teaching you how to respond to life, how to respond to challenges, how to respond to situations that we do not anticipate. So that is the core of education. And again, may I repeat, everything that is discussed in my pages, in my vlogs, are completely my own opinion. If I'm referencing somebody, the due credits would be given accordingly. So yeah, let's begin. I could make it a little more entertaining with a less formal attire and a less formal way of communication. So here you have another avatar of me trying to teach children in an edutainment way. Education clubbed with entertainment. I don't know how much of an entertainment I can include into this topic, but I've given it a little interesting twist. So have a look. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Tiny Little Snippets of My Life Part 3. So this is in conjunction with education and some important lessons that I learned in my life. So I'm going to share 3 of my experiences that I learned from my life as to how to handle hurt, betrayal, or unexpected situations in our lives. So let me start with the first story. This story goes back to a very long ago when I was studying in my school. Basically takes you back to my school days. I was studying in a school in Chennai. So we had beautiful trees full of plants and beautiful scenery. The campus was huge, and the school building was small compared to the campus, the size of the campus. So it was a very beautiful setup. And what used to happen was I still remember when my parents met with the principal of the school, and when we mentioned, oh, this is a beautiful campus, I remember her telling my parents that, oh, do you know the chief minister herself, our respected honorable Chief Minister J. Jayalalitha used to be the Chief Minister then of Tamil Nadu, rest in peace. And so the principal was like, you know, even this Chief Minister asked me for this property and I didn't sell it because it is very close to my heart. Yes, the place was so very beautiful. It was it was not a typical school campus, but a school inside a beautiful, a botanical garden, I could call it. So our moral education classes used to be conducted basically outside. Outside in the sense, we were taken outside and we used to sit under a tree, and we were taught so many lessons on life and how to live it, how to respond to life's situations. So I'm going to just share here one experience that I always carry it everywhere, and I want the next generation to learn this. And so some of our classes, the teachers used to take us out of the classroom, let us sit under the tree and teach us on various subjects. And one subject that is very important to everybody nowadays is, I believe, moral education. Nowadays, there's a specific syllabus in every school, every curriculum to teach moral education. Those days, we didn't have any specific syllabus to handle moral education. It was just each school had their own style of teaching moral education, and this was what was taught to me, so I'm sharing it here. Like kids used to fight, you know, children, we play together, then we fight. So many things used to happen between children, and one thing was like these fights. So one method the teachers used to control these fights between children was like, if one person hits another person, it's a immediate response that hit him back or hit her back. So that's the immediate response that we as human beings have. So the teacher used to come and tell us, did that person hit you? Yes, ma'am, the person hit. What do you want to do? You want to hit her back, hit him back? Yes, I want to hit him back, and hit him back very badly. So the teacher used to be like, how do you want to hit him back? You want to hit him with a stick, hit him, how much wound do you think you can cause him? You want to hit him back. So the teacher used to be like, see, if you respond to his hitting, you can respond only so much. But when you leave it to God or nature, okay, this is what they used to teach us, okay? There is an energy called nature. There is a power called nature, which is much more powerful than we human beings. And nature can handle this in a better manner than we as children or we as human beings. So this is what we were told. And so the teacher used to say, leave it to the nature, because you want to hurt him or her so much. You can hurt him or her so much, but you want to hurt him or her so much. This is not possible by you, because this is possible only by nature. You can hurt the person so much, or maybe so much. But if you leave it to the nature will tackle it in such a bigger, greater manner than what is possible for you. So anyway, your revenge is taken care of. Anyway, your hurt is taken care of. So you just right now focus on your studies. You don't waste time on revenge or hurting him back or hurting him or her back. You just focus on your studies right now, because that should be your priority. So this is the first lesson I want to tell children. Like, when you get hurt in life, or when somebody comes and attacks you, and mind you, it's I know that many times most of us are innocent. In spite of that, people come and try to hurt us just like that, and we wonder why I didn't do anything wrong, and still these people is why. So when that happens, just leave it and move on with your life. Don't waste your time on revenge. It's not worth it. It's absolutely not worth it. So focus on your life, focus on your studies, focus on your work, focus on your own creativity, because going behind somebody else is absolute waste of time. So don't do that in your life. Don't waste your precious life. What I want to tell you, the lesson number 1 I learned and I always carry throughout my life. Now the second option that I came across, this is a different scenario, different school, completely different environment, and all the children in this school were so studious that entire time we just focused on our studies. The teachers came, the questions asked, the discussions made, everything was related to just the studies or the syllabus that we were tackling. 90% of the students in this particular school who studied along with me became doctors, and the remaining 10% became engineers. The focus the children had was only to be either doctors or engineers, nothing more. Their whole life they dedicated to being doctors or engineers. We used to have quiz games, like there used to be quiz games in school, or Antakshari you play. The games that we used to play in the school used to be like, there used to be 2 groups, and one group used to ask a word or say a word from a particular textbook. Okay, and the opposite group has to say which textbook, which page number, which paragraph this particular word belongs to. So can you imagine how thorough these students were about the subjects? So that was the commitment these students, that particular school and that particular environment had towards teaching and studies and education. The only aim in their life was to study and to be a doctor or an engineer. Nothing more. We had entertainment, definitely we had entertainment, and we had extracurricular activities, but that was again when you study so a lot, you need to get out of that atmosphere and relax and chill and then come back to the studies. So only for that purpose we had entertainment, not because we needed entertainment or entertainment was a part of the studies. No, we had entertainment just so that we can relax a little bit apart from our studies and then come back to our studies. So this was this is possible for people who are like, or children who are really focused, really ambitious, really want to really learn something, and is so goal oriented children. Can use this method. Like, you study, you give your entire focus on research, on developing yourself and learning some subject thoroughly to such an extent that you become the expert subject or subject matter expert in that particular field. So rather than wasting your time on other people or wasting your time on other things, unnecessary matters, so you have a focus in life, and if you face hurdles, you have the solutions. Because when you're learning a subject so thoroughly, you know if this thing you do, these are the outcomes you can expect. If these things you don't do, these are the outcomes you can expect out of these experiments or life in general. So this is the second experience that I want to share with all of you. A totally different scenario of handling life. The first experience was like totally ignore, focus on your own things, have entertainment, have life, enjoy life. Second was completely work, focus on being something really important. Now the third, third experience, for my college, I ended up in the coolest city in the world at that time, Bangalore. Bangalore used to be like, I don't know how it is nowadays. It used to be one of the coolest places. Like in those days when we opened the newspaper itself, we used to come across a array of talent. You know, you open, like when I'm in other states and open the newspaper, it starts with all the bad news and or all the politics and all the other things. In Bangalore, you open the newspaper and you have the fashion industry booming, the writing industry booming, the music industry booming, the cultural activities booming. So the environment was so chilled and so so cool. It was basically a very cool environment. People were so focused on their own areas and on their own lives. We had the Prasad Bidhapa's designings going on one side, Shobha's write-ups going on the other side, Lucky Ali's music's happening on the other side. So it was an array of activities, entertainment and learning, everything together was happening in Bangalore. And one thing I learned from Bangalore is, if you're going along the road and if somebody comes and, those days, okay, now I don't know how things are, somebody comes and stabs you with a knife, the person will just remove the knife, throw it away and keep walking. That was the response you get. I mean, I came across people who were like so cool with their lives, you know. They just never bothered about it, because they had so much in their plates to focus on that they had very little time to focus on other people. So then in Bangalore, what we saw was like, this was the first time I came across this word called karma. You know, I saw people getting hurt, and I'm like, why are you not responding? Why are you not taking enough action against these people? And they're like, no, leave it to karma. Karma will take care of it. It was very strange for me initially, but then I realized that why waste your time on others when you can do so much with your own life? Then I decided that this is the kind of life even I want to live. This is the kind of response I want to have towards my life, that I do not want to waste my life on somebody else. That is not my focus or energy has to be flown into. My focus and energy has to be on something creative, something productive, something useful to everybody around me and to my life. So these are some of the different kinds of experiences that I had in my life, and I want to share it here. Like, you know, like in 2020 we had so many discussions of people feeling lonely, people feeling betrayed, people feeling hurt, people feeling so many different feelings. People were basically stuck without knowing how to move ahead. So in life, in everybody's life, we have something or the other to do. So do not get stuck or do not get hurt, or do not have an intention to hurt somebody else. Just focus on creativity, or focus on life, on the beauty of everybody's life. Do not waste your time on anything else. So I hope all of you enjoyed this session, and do share your feedbacks and ideas and inputs with regard to all these 3 points. I hope these are useful to our children. Tell them, do not waste their time on other people or other people's lives, or tell them don't waste their time at all. Just focus on their studies or creativity, arts, technology. There are so many fields that we can spend. You have hundreds, you have thousands, you have millions of options in life to make your life beautiful. So do not think of substance abuse. Do not think of hitting a wall and getting stuck there. Do not think of suicides or ending lives. It doesn't provide anything useful to anybody. Whereas as living, peaceful, happy human beings, you can do much more to yourself and to the people around you in a million ways. So try to focus on that million. Don't start with the million. Start with one activity a day. There are millions of activities that you can indulge in positively. So all the best everyone for a wonderful life ahead. Thank you for listening and thank you for your time. Bye-bye. Share this with all your children. Let them learn and grow to be the best human beings that could be possible. Thank you once again everyone. See you in the next vlog. Bye-bye.